Here's how you can become the person that you want to be, the person who you envision yourself to be. All right. So it's a process, right? Because right now, I'm the best version of myself I've ever been, but that doesn't mean I'm the best version I could be. Okay. So there's always levels. You always have to continue progressing. But out of my whole life, I'm the best version of myself that I've ever been. And how do I do it? How can you do it as well? You have to start practicing the skill of listening to your conscience, that voice in your head that tells you everything that you need to do and everything that you know you need to do. You have to practice that because listening is a skill. The same way that communicating is a skill, listening is a skill. Listening is not just something that you just become good at right away. You have to learn how to listen. When you learn how to listen, not only do you learn more, but also you can have conversations and flow naturally. Why? Because you're listening to what the other person's saying. But in turn, you have to listen to what you're saying as well, to what your mind and your conscience is telling you to do. Because there's a difference. You can hear something and not be listening. Someone could be right in front of my face, and if I don't care about what they're talking about, if someone's right next to me talking about something that I really don't care about, then I am hearing what they're saying, but I'm not listening. I'm checked out. I'm not tuning in to what they're saying because I'm not listening. So your conscience is always telling you what to do. Your conscience is telling you whether you should eat that food or whether you shouldn't. Your conscience is telling you. So when you say, I don't know what to do to lose weight, you know exactly what to do because your conscience is always telling you. The thing is, you're hearing that voice, but you're not listening to it. Whenever you're having problems in a relationship, you know whether or not you should date that girl, but sometimes you just don't choose to listen to your conscience. So you have to learn through your mistakes. When you want to become the best version of yourself as far as speaking, how can you become a better speaker? You know that the answer is to practice speaking. You know that the answer is to start a YouTube channel and put yourself out there and face the fear of failing. You know that if you want to be better with women, you have to go approach them, and your conscience always tells you that. But the thing is, you're hearing it, but you're not listening to it because think about this. A teacher giving you a lecture. I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't the best in school, but it's not because I couldn't be, it's because I didn't listen. I wasn't listening to what the teacher was saying. I would hear what she was saying, but I wasn't, no. The word is not couldn't, okay? Make sure to correct yourself when you say something like that because it's not that I couldn't listen, I just wasn't listening, okay? I wasn't listening. And the thing about how can you listen more, because you might be asking, okay, how do I listen more? You learn how to focus on what it is you want to focus on. Because the thing about focus depends on where you choose to put it. Because if you focus on women, you know you can choose to focus on women because you're putting all your energy and all your effort, all your attention into that one thing. But the moment you choose to focus and shift your focus to something else, that's when you will start seeing results in that because you choose where you put your focus. If right now you're watching videos all day and the videos are not anything that add any type of value to your life, you're choosing to focus on that. Because the moment that you choose to focus on something that's more productive, you're going to see your life improve. So the same way you can choose to focus on what video you watch, you can choose to focus whether you focus on women or on money, you can choose to focus whether you focus on fitness, whatever you choose to focus on. Understand that it's a skill to choose to focus on listening to what your conscience is telling you. Because your mind, it's always going to be telling you what you need to hear. And I know you guys are watching. I know you guys can relate to this. I know at all times of the day, you know whether you're making a good decision or a bad decision because your conscience, it's guiding you. It's guiding you to make the best choice. Your conscience does not want to self-destruct, but your ego is what stops you sometimes. Because you might know, your conscience might be telling you, go talk to that woman. Go talk to that woman. But your ego is self-preserving, right? Your conscience wants what's best for you, but your ego is self-preserving. So you might want to go talk to that woman, but your ego tells you no. But what if other people see you get rejected? Oh, but what if you get rejected? Oh, but what if it's embarrassing? Oh, but what if she thinks your nose is too big? Oh, but see, your ego is holding you back, but your conscience is telling you what to do. So when you choose to stop listening to, because when you listen to your ego, you're just hearing your conscience. But when you choose to listen to your conscience, you'll just hear your ego, meaning you know what the right choice is to do. And anytime that fear or that doubt creeps up in your head, you're focusing on your conscience. You're focusing on what's best. You're not focusing on the ego that's trying to self-preserve and is afraid to take a risk, right? Whenever I was quitting my job and I started to be an entrepreneur on my own, that doubt, that voice of doubt was there a little bit, right? Because I believed in myself. Because if I didn't believe in myself, I wouldn't even have gotten to the point where I was even thinking about it. But when I finally took the leap, the voice of doubt was creeping in just a little bit. But you want to know how I did it? Because I chose to listen to my conscience. My conscience knew that the right choice was to quit my job because I hated it. I hated it so much. More than anything I've ever hated in this world. There's nothing I have hated more than working for someone else who I don't like, and I don't like going into that place every day. That's what I hated. So my conscience knew the right choice was to become an entrepreneur. However, my ego was creeping in just a little bit. What was my ego telling me? My ego was saying, oh, but what if you don't make any money? Oh, but what if you fail and it's embarrassing? Oh, but how are you sure? Oh, are you sure you can take the risk? This is pretty risky. I don't know, man. This seems like a risky move. I don't know. But I chose to listen to my conscience because my conscience is telling me what is best for me, not your ego. Your ego will always choose to self-preserve. And when you want to grow, you're not supposed to self-preserve. You're supposed to take that leap, take that risky move, because without risk, there's no reward. So you have to take that risky move if you want to grow. If you want to become a better, stronger version of yourself, you have to take the risky move. Okay? And it doesn't mean to take risks that aren't calculated. You can take calculated risk, meaning you weigh out all the options. Because if you're going to quit your job and you know you're not going to hustle, that's a bad risk. But if you take a calculated risk and you say, I'm going to quit my job, but I'm going to hustle every single day. I'm going to make sure I get out there. I'm going to make sure I learn more. I'm going to make sure I don't quit no matter what. That's a calculated risk. Because yeah, it's risky, but you calculated everything that can go wrong. So that's what you need to do if you want to become a better version of yourself day in and day out. And over time, that just compounds. Over time, more and more and more. See, I didn't become the best version of myself that I am today simply just by trying to do it all at once. I focus on bettering my social skills, bettering my communication, bettering my speaking, bettering my looks, bettering everything about my life. And I chose to focus on each one because I was listening to my conscience and what it was telling me to do. And I will continue to listen to what it tells me to do. And I will see it compound over time. All right. That's the video for today. Start practicing it, okay? Because a skill is not just something that you do just because. A skill is something that is practiced. So remember that listening is a skill. So you must practice it in order to get better. Focus is also a skill as well. You have to learn how to focus on listening. Listening to your conscience, not your ego. All right? Peace out.